hard to talk about, you know, some of the things around Common Core without asking some issues around, you know, student performances, because
Right.
those seem like they're going to loom large. And
Hmm. So I see you've
one of
got some NAEP reading results up here.
I do, and these have just come out, and I have plotted the X in red is the one for English language learners, and the X in teal is the one for non-English language learners. And you know, some people have said that we can anticipate that the PARCC and Smarter Balanced really have a lot more similarities to the NAEP than they have had to most state
Yes.
tests.
Right, right.
So, I mean, what are the implications of this? And are some of the units that are being developed? I mean, are you looking at what it means to, you know, interact with some of the tasks that are being modeled for Smarter Balanced and PARCC?
Um, I'm not quite sure I got the last part of your question, but because
Basically, I'm
I don't think of Smarter Balanced or PARCC as having I mean they have items, but tasks like curriculum units or.
well, I'm just saying that there are, when I look at the
Uh-huh.
sample items, there are certain processes that underlie them that
Right.
have to do with a lot more finding evidence in text, for example.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Right.
texts are typically a little bit longer than they have been
Mm-hmm.
in lots of state tests.
Mm-hmm. Right. Right. And they look much more like the kinds of tasks that are assessed in NAEP.
That's correct.
And yeah, right, right. And so yes, I agree with you that student performance in NAEP is going to be a fairly good predictor of how results will be uh, in the Smarter Balanced and PARCC assessments.
Okay.
Right. And I would agree with that. And I think, you know, for English language learners, that just the challenges are huge. There are going to be um, some difficult decisions to be made, which is there's that same group I was mentioning that CCSSO convenes also is focused on this issue of a common definition of an English language learner,
Mm-hmm.
and the assessment consortium as well as the states have sort of signed off on adopting a common definition. They may not all be aware of it, but that is what they have agreed to do. And right now it's a state by state, and in some cases, uh, you know, even districts within states can vary. But there's now an agreement to do a common definition. And when you have a common definition, you have to start worrying about things like proficiency levels. And many states kind of use the proficiency cut as as one of the definition or the criteria for exiting the English learner category. What this is doing is it's raising that bar as well, which also means that it's going to make kids remain as a kind of a labeled as an English learner for longer. And if that also means, then it really is a question of, well, what do we provide or offer to those students who are in that category? And many people agree that, especially in middle school and high school, that being in that category gives you less and less access to the core content. And so it really does raise these very serious equity and access issues. And it could be a case where a category or a label that was well intentioned and intended to protect a class of students could really further prevent them from access to rigorous instruction.